we talk about, the spotlight, players being drafted last night in the spotlight, getting some notoriety, getting some attention, all of a sudden becoming stars themselves. Who knows if this is parlayed into some sort of a sponsorship opportunity? Who knows if this is parlayed into, some sort of, a TV show or a something on YouTube? Like, who knows? Like, but there's
what
all
would it
sorts.
Be called? What would the TV show be called?
There's lots of names out there you could call that TV show. I've thought of a couple.
What would be the first one that comes to mind for you?
I'll tell you during the break, and then if it's suitable, we'll bring it on the air. But it does bring up the question of being in the public eye and getting all of this exposure that maybe some people don't want. And we transition that over to somebody who definitely doesn't want all this exposure, definitely wants his privacy, none other than LaVar's guy, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, while speaking with Pat McAfee, did point out, as we talked about yesterday, listen, he gave his reasoning behind why this is his final year, wants to appreciate the ride, the journey on the way out, et cetera, et cetera. But Rodgers also talked about the privacy that he seeks upon the revelation that he is now married, and as he walks out of the NFL, don't plan on seeing him anytime soon.
It's a sick society, isn't it? It's a sick society. I lived in a public eye for 20 years. I had public relationship. How did that work out? I had people leaking my home information and making up stories that we bought a house together. I had people calling the paparazzi. I had people, posting personal life on the internet. And where are we at in society where that's like the norm now, that just because I'm not selling wedding photos to the magazines or leaking personal information or making a loving post on Instagram, but look, you want to do that, that's fine. That's your own prerogative. I don't care. That's just not what I want to do. I don't want to be a part of any of that. I told you, when this is all done, I'm out. You won't see me. And I know that I've chosen to be in the public eye for one more season, but my private life is staying private.
I'm talking about, VAR.
It's not staying private.
What do you mean?
And verbal Kent, I know you're going to turn into Kaiser Sose when you walk out of the NFL, but just know that's just how it works. You're not a unique case. It's definitely not unique. You got to take into consideration everyone is under the critical and scrutiny of the media and what can be, extracted from all of these celebrities' lives. Like, bro, you're not even in the top half of oversaturated, covered celebrities. That's like in sports. You come outside of the realm of sports and you get into entertainers and actors, man, if he thinks he's got it bad, go have a conversation with Taylor Swift or Kanye West or
you don't think
by the way, they cry out for all of that anyway. The Kardashians, like, go check them out.
Okay, but as far as sports go, there's not a lot of people that are covered as much as Rodgers is.
I mean, LeBron James.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah, probably LeBron.
Is he the most covered? Is he the most covered in the NFL?
I would say, yeah, probably. And you know what? This offseason,
if you stop to think about it,
Shedeur.
I guess he is.
Shedeur Sanders is probably 2.
Shedeur.
And those are 2 different.
Shedeur Sanders is probably number 1, actually.
You think over Rodgers?
In terms of overly saturated with coverage, it's probably Shedeur Sanders right now. Since the draft. Now, before the draft, most likely Aaron Rodgers. I can't think of anyone else that has been more covered.
I mean,
I can't think of anyone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but again, listen, this is all I'm going to say to this. This is a red flag. It's a wave a big giant red flag. Why is Pittsburgh doing this? Why are y'all doing this? This man is living life. He's telling y'all, like, just blatantly telling y'all, I'm living life the way I want to live life. I'm doing things the way I want to do things. I am on my own terms right now. And when you don't see me playing anymore, you won't see me at all. I'm on my time right now. Why? Why are you bringing in this guy to play for your team? I'm sorry. Like, I just got to say it. This is a horrible mistake. It's a bigger mistake by the day. It's a big mistake. I think it's a big mistake, and it's going to end up being a costly mistake. I don't see a magical carpet ride taking place and bringing Aaron Rodgers in to your team that is in need. They're in need of a real stable situation. They need to stabilize what they have going on there. Not plug gap, not stop gap, not plug the hole for a moment. Like, you're taking on water on this ship. You are. Whether you know it or not, somebody needs to be real about it. The Steelers are taking on water.
When they chose stopgap when they made the decision to move on from Kenny Pickett and then bring in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, who were making like $2.28 an hour last year, and decided instead of just giving Justin Fields the opportunity as the younger player to take the reins and be your quarterback of the at least near future, they refused to go back to him when everybody outside of Mike Tomlin wanted them to go back to Justin Fields. They continued with Russell Wilson even when they were struggling. And then after the season, they couldn't get rid of Russell Wilson fast enough, and Justin Fields, reportedly, they lowballed, and so he took a deal to go play for the Jets. They didn't have any other options. Like, this just sort of worked in their favor.
You always have other options.
But who?
You always have other options. And even go back to the Justin Fields point. If you're building towards the future, you have a young quarterback in Justin Fields, who was a top draft pick at one point in his career, still has maybe a little bit more potential and time to be productive. And you drafted a quarterback that could possibly potentially develop into being a starter for the future. Oh, coincidentally, ironically, I don't know what you want to call it, but both of them played at Ohio State. So you have a relationship, you have a connection between quarterbacks and them going to the same school. That could be a positive if you make it one. To me, this direction they've gone in, it's so far off of the tracks. And listen, I'm one to encourage thinking outside of the box. This is way outside of the box to do this, to take this chance on Aaron Rodgers. I just hope that Aaron Rodgers takes this opportunity and doesn't bone Mike Tomlin and the city of Pittsburgh on his way out. I just hope he doesn't, because it just seems like he's at peace with where he is in life. He's at peace with it. And so if it goes horribly wrong, it's like, didn't work out.
The lack of just no appreciation. You've got zero appreciation. And it's not even just that you're a PA guy from Pittsburgh. It's what Rodgers did for your career and for you to
just my career.
Yeah. Listen,
what are you talking about?
Rodgers got us on Netflix, and you're going to sit here and just dismiss that as if it's nothing and be critical of his choices.
Play the reel. Go ahead. Run the reel. Go ahead. Play it.
Aaron Rodgers is back. He was spotted, so at least we know he's in the country. Now, the big question is, where the hell was he? And when it finally does come out, is he going to get buried by bitter people in the media that are going to be upset? Well, I mean, there's certain people who have some sort of an issue with Rodgers, a little bit of an agenda, if you will. Now, was he over there to see the pyramids? Like, is that what it was? He wanted to go inside there and see what all the
all the hoopla about.
I mean,
that was me saying, "What's all the hoopla all about?" By the way, that was me. That was my cameo on a segment of Jonas Knox.
I mean,
raising his clout meter.
Listen, some people are different. Some people remember where they came from. Other people just dismiss it and then step on things to get to where they are next in their career. Like I remember where I came from.
All I can say is thank you, Aaron Rodgers, and whoever did the show for giving my homie a little bit of shine. He is one of the best in the business and should receive that type of credit. So I appreciate y'all taking that quote, that sound from our show. But that doesn't change my thought process. That doesn't change how I feel about this scenario. You ever been to Mexico City?
Every day.
No. Have you ever been there?
Oh.
Have you driven around Mexico City?
No.
They have these big ass flag poles.
I usually
ass flags.
I took it to go, so no.
It's the biggest flags I've ever seen in my life, Jonas. These flags, they're so big, and they're very, very like just intimidating how big they are.
See,
and they almost look like they're gonna touch your car from where they're at in the air. They're so big. And it just commands your attention. Just make that flag red and hang it in Pittsburgh. And that's your situation.
Jesus.
I don't like it should be this should be one of the biggest red flags. Just because of what's at stake. I believe Mike Tomlin's situation is at stake. I believe the stability of the Pittsburgh Steelers as a franchise is at stake. There's a lot at stake here going into this season, and you're placing it on Aaron Rodgers' arm, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't even sound like it's like I just want to try one more time to see if I can have a good season before I leave. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And you won't, basically, if you won't see or hear from me after the conclusion of this season, if I did horribly bad, what does it matter? What does it matter? How much can it matter to you? It's like, and here's an experiment, right? I'm afraid of heights. If you put a line on a floor, I can walk on that line.
Yeah.
Won't miss a step. If you drop the floor out from that line and it becomes a rope, like a tight rope, I have no security or comprehension of the fact that all I can walk on is this rope, right? This line that's across. I'll fall off on the first step.
Then you're like one of those Walindas who didn't make it. They always tell you the story about the ones who made it across.
Yeah. Dang, that's why they had to keep having them.
How about the other ones?
Hey, bruh.
Look like breadcrumbs falling off a table.
Aaron Rodgers is not doing a tightrope act for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There is no danger involved. There is no risk. The only thing he has here is upside. And some may say, well, he contained his career. No, he can't. Because what he did in Green Bay is solidified. So what happened in New York don't matter. In the annals and the history of time, it's a blip on the radar. Doesn't matter. It's a cliff note, side note. Hey, he played for the New York Jets. His career doesn't matter because he's not trying to solidify a Hall of Fame career when he went to New York. He's not trying to solidify a Hall of Fame career in Pittsburgh. He has everything to gain in terms of, hey, I did it my way. I went out the way I wanted to go. I played the way I wanted to play. I had a good season. I had a good year. Y'all take care. There's no real connection to the Pittsburgh community. There's no real connection to the Pittsburgh Steelers team. There's no connection to really needing to have success. There's no real connection to being motivated to go out there and ball the hell out. There is no real reason other than, hey, I want to do it. Didn't have a good showing in New York. I'm going to try one more time before I get up out of here. I got married. I'm in love. I like going in the trees, Keebler elf trees, eating Keebler products. I like doing what I do. I want to go see some pyramids here and there. I've done that. Okay, boom, boom, boom. But I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me. And you get that for 1 year? Red flag.
Damn.
Sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's a hell of a red flag.